Hello everyone. In this lesson, we are going to look at our project structure. I have prepared here the basic structure for our project, which will save us some time. And because it's not focused on the agent, so I decided to just prepare it for you. Okay. So the first thing we need to go do it is to go to the repository and clone this project. And then you're gonna switch to the course one brain, and then you're gonna have this exactly structure that I'm showing here for you. So let's have a look what you have it here. So the first thing is assets. So just some image that we have in our project. We then have the chat UI, which will contain the front end for our application. This is a React application. So we are going to be diving into this later in the course when we integrate the back end and the front end. The main part for us now, it is the server, which we have here our source. And inside our source, we have some basic structure, which will contain the API side of things, the core, where you're going to have all the logic for our AI agents. And you're going to have the data, which we'll be using to load into our vector database, which will be performing some semantic search against that will then pass to the LLM to build our intended response and our intended UI depending on the user input. We are going to dive into those later. So for now, I just want to show you that you have this data here prepared for you for later. Then we have the server part, which is just setting up the REST endpoints for us. So the REST server, we are going to use Fast API as our framework for this, and which is pretty simple. So we'll dive into those endpoints later, but you just need to know that we are using Fast API for our REST endpoints, and then we're going to be listening on the port 8880. And yeah, so basically that I think all we need to know for now. And then we have our Docker Compose, which will just have the Redis, which we saw already. And then you're gonna have our dependencies for our project listed here. Here we'll have all the dependencies that you're gonna be using through all the course. And we are gonna just now install everything following our README. So follow from here. So the first thing, let's start Redis. Redis is started. Next step, you're going to install all our dependencies. I already have all of them installed, so it will be very fast. For you, this might take some time. Then you're going to navigate inside our source. And from our source, you're going to have to create a local environment variables that we will contain everything that you need. Let's just have a quick look to our environment variable that we have here. That's the template. So you will have to populate it with your OpenAI key. And basically, that's the only thing you need to populate. So you need to go to the OpenAI and get generated a new key for you and then paste it here. Next step. So I have it done already, so I'm not going to run this step because I already have my own here. So with my key populated. So here it's saying that you should replace it inside the NV. Then we will just start our server. And the server start successful. Next step, we need to visit this endpoint, which will then see two endpoints, one for the API completion and the other for the docs. Let's have a quick look what is those API has. Inside the API, I have one endpoint for docs, where you are going to be searching docs, basically searching what doc would be used as a context for what we're going to be sending to the LLM. I have a very dumb endpoint here. We are going to be implementing this together later. And you have the predictor one, which is basically will be sending the context and also the user input, and then they pass that to to our LLM, which is ChatGPT in our case, to figure out what the UI that should be displayed for the user. I think that's all I wanted to show. It's pretty basic structure. We are going to implement all the steps together. So see you in the next lecture.